The next figure that we are going to do is a running pose, so a side view of a figure. Now to help us draw the figure, we're going to draw a line from the top left-hand corner of our paper down to the bottom right. So just as a guide, we're going to take our pencil and we're going to draw a line going diagonally across our paper all the way down to the bottom right-hand side. And again, we're going to start with the shape of the head, which is going to be an oval, again about the height of a quarter. Okay, notice I'm putting that oval right on the line. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our curve of our neck again. Now this time, because our person is standing off to the side, it's not facing forward, but our person's now turned to the side, the shoulders are not going to be long like they were before. When the person's turned to the side, you're going to see a smaller amount. So we're going to have a much smaller oval right in here. So go ahead and put that in. Once you've done that, we still need to do the torso. Now, if you did the first drawing with me, you would know how many heads tall that torso, that kind of big watermelon shape, needs to be. And that torso needs to be 2 heads tall. That means that the height of the head that you drew up here should be able to fit into your torso 1 and 2 times. Once you've done that, we're then going to add the hips, and the hips are going to overlap the torso as well. And just like we did last time, I'm going to put a line across here showing the waist. Now, if you were with me on the first drawing, if our head to our waist is this tall, we know that the waist to the bottom of our feet is longer. So I'm going to take this measurement, I'm going to move it down, I'm going to add maybe an inch or so, and I'm going to draw a line going across. So this is going to be kind of my floor. Now again, this part here should be longer, should look longer than this part up here. In fact, in my first drawing, you may have noticed that I might have drawn my legs just a little bit too short. So make sure you make this length long enough. Again, better to have our legs be longer than we think they are than too short. So this should be longer than up here. Now again, we have to find the middle of this distance, because that's where our knees are going to be in. So I'm going to have this point here, find the middle between those 2 points, and I'm going to make a little mark right here. Now our back leg is going to be here, this front leg is going to be coming forward, so we have to figure out where the knee is here. If we draw kind of like a imaginary line coming over, our front knee should be right in there. So we're going to put in the front leg first, the leg that's closest to us, and that's going to be the leg that's going to come down this way, then it's going to come down here, and then it's going to be on the floor. So we're going to do that first hip, and again we want to make sure that we're overlapping, because this thigh here is part of our hip, part of our body moving forward. So nice kind of thick oval there. Then we're going to have our calf, our lower leg. Again, we overlap to create that knee, and then we can put in our foot. And we overlap to create the ankle. Now our back leg is coming from behind our body, so we're not going to be drawing an oval on top of this. We want to make it look like it's coming from behind. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to bring this down to here, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to bring this down. So do you see how that leg is kind of looking like it's coming from behind the body? It's not on top over here. It's coming from behind this leg and hip. So there's our knee here. Now this person that's running here, his toe is going to be kind of pointing down, so we don't want to keep the leg going this way. We're actually going to have the leg coming back here a little bit, and then it's going to come down and it's going to touch the floor here. So we're going to have overlapping again to create the knee. Remember, this one's a little skinnier than up here, and then here's our foot overlapping to create the ankle. So we have that running pose. Now the person's arms need to be put in. Now again, if you drew with me on the first picture, the facing forward picture, then you would know that your elbows need to look as though they come to the waist. Now, when you're running, you're not running with your arms straight along your body. Your arms are bent. So this forearm, this arm that's going to be in front, this is going to overlap the shoulder. And again, we want to make sure this arm looks like it's long enough. When we draw that upper arm in, we want to make sure it's long enough so it's going to look like it's going to swing down to our waist. If it's too long, shorten it up. If it's too short, lengthen it a little bit. So make sure this arm is long enough so it looks like it swings down to the waist. Now when you're running, you're bending, and 9 times out of 10, your arm's probably coming up this way. Again, overlapping, creating that elbow in through there, and then you can create that mitten. And it's okay if it goes off the paper. Let it go off the paper. Don't try and squish it in, because then it won't look right. So there's the wrist. Our arm back here is going to look like it's coming out from the body. And again, we still need to make it look like it's coming from behind. So we don't want to draw on top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw that back upper arm. Just like we did with the legs down here. We're not going to have a full oval, just going to do part of it. And then this other arm, the forearm, is going to come forward and again overlapping, creating the elbow. We're going to hide the hand because the hand's behind the figure. Now, when you add clothing to this runner, something's going to be a little different. Because you're seeing a side view, you have to show the shirt a little differently and the shorts. So if I put a little collar here, and then I come down, here's my shirt coming down this way, and then I'm going to come over. Now this is where it changes. Normally we would just kind of make kind of like a template, kind of doing something like this for a forward-facing person, but because this person is a side view, we're going to put a line coming all the way down because this arm is behind the shirt. So we would see part of the shirt coming on top of this arm, and then there would be another part of a sleeve coming back this way. Let me erase those ovals and circles so you can see what I'm talking about. And remember, once you draw the circle, or once not the circle, but the shirt, you don't need these ovals anymore. So now you just have kind of the outline of this shirt. So do you see this shirt coming down in front? And again, I'm exaggerating this a little bit so it's a little clearer to you. You can do a little line here and here to make that arm look like it's going up into the shirt. Same thing on this side. Now if I want to do shorts, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down here, come across, and then I'm going to bring this up and all the way over because this pants or the shorts have to be on top of that back leg. So I don't want to stop here and come down. I want to make this go all the way up, going across up to the shirt. Then I might have a pair of shorts, the other side, coming down over here. Go ahead and put those lines in, kind of going behind the legs so it looks like the legs are going up into the shorts. And then we can erase these right here. Now again, we don't need these ovals, these circles in the legs to show the knees and the ankles, so we could take those out. And you can see that when you take those out, suddenly you have a much more realistic person. And you could go ahead and you can, like we did before, you can show kind of the fingers coming in. You could do hair, you could show sneakers, and other details happening. Okay, so that's how you draw a person from a side view running. So hopefully you can practice, and the more you practice, the better you're going to get. Have fun.